Hey everyone, I'm Amanda Polk, now Soboleski, and I have the great honor to share with you my story of transitioning from Olympic athlete to now mom of five. That's right, five children. I'm probably just as surprised as you all are still, and I get to see them on the daily. But anyways, so from 2008 to 2016, I was on the US women's national team and Olympic team in Princeton, New Jersey. And it was a very physically and mentally demanding schedule. Each session was anywhere from 2 to 3 hours long and 2 to 3 sessions a day, and then up to 7 days a week. So when you weren't actively training, you were actively recovering and resting and doing things outside of practice so that you were recovering from that session, but then also preparing for the next to have enough energy and focus and performance. In doing so, honestly, I felt a big portion of my career as an elite athlete. It was a very big trial and error time where nutrition was, I knew I needed 4,000 to 6,000 calories a day. And honestly, I wasn't one to calorie count by any means, but it was really difficult to really feel like I had enough fuel and energy and recovery from all of the whole foods. And it wasn't until 2015 where I met, ironically, my husband, and his name is Eric Soboleski, and he is a PhD in human movement and performance. And he brought to light that, yes, you need those amounts of calories a day, but the quality and where you're getting those calories and what type you are getting those calories matters. So, from his advice and his education, I was really open to a much better routine in that I was having protein recovery shakes. I was having protein bars more frequently, especially because some of my sessions were from right at one after another. So there would be a 30 to 45-minute window sometimes from going on the water, then to the weight room, for instance. So there was really important to have something that just kept you fueling and hydration for us as well on the water, outside in the sun, the heat, the rain, whatever the weather was, we were out there, unless there was lightning. The only lightning that was allowed was in the boat with our legs and with our oars. But I say those things because what we use and what we put in our bodies was very, very important. So important because we also get tested and we need to make sure that anything we put in our bodies was safe so that there wasn't any type of doping chemicals or doping type of substances that were found in our systems. And so honestly, that side of things really made me very scared and nervous to try anything outside the whole food realm. Well, when my husband came into my life, he reassured me that there are actually brands out there that are safe and you just have to find the right certification. Well, I did. And I can say that I am so happy that I did because it took something off of my plate in terms of mentally that I could trust. And knowing that I was safe and knowing that I was fueled and recovering really well because it was so high quality. Now, fast forward right after 2016, I won the Olympic gold medal. Spoiler alert, hope everyone knew that maybe already. But if not, it was such a surreal moment because all of the sacrifice and the journey that it took to get me to that point was unbelievable. And the highs and the lows after the finish line, I could not have culminated a better moment for myself. I actually threw the oar away. I looked up at the sky and I just yelled, yes, as hard as I could. And in doing so, right after that, I had this moment in my head where I was like, oh my gosh, did I just do that? Yeah, I did. And I had this real of my journey and flashbacks before my eyes of the people that have supported me. And those moments where you think there was nothing was going to get better. So that was my emotional time in the boat. And I'm so grateful for it because I really did feel like I was in a movie, and I'll never forget that feeling. So after Rio, I got married to the Dr. Eric Soboleski, and we started having a family within 3 months of our marriage. My first daughter was born, and then the second one. And honestly, it was a huge perk for me that Shackley came into my life at the Olympics, and it was so surreal that the timing of everything was great because originally I thought I wanted to continue with the training. But then when I got pregnant, I thought this is another level of training. And this is the type of commitment and new dedication that I have for not just myself, but building sort of my own team, if you will. And so it was being pregnant with Adelie and kind of calculating, rewiring my brain of, okay, not only what I put in my body matters for me, but now my child, my unborn child, and what am I going to support her with? So Eric and I really dove into more nutritional routines that were consistent. We also looked into research, ingredients, you name it, we looked at it. If I didn't, he covered it. And we ended up having such great success. I was on Shackley's Vitalizer Women for 3 out of my 5 pregnancies. And in doing so, I've had full term babies every time, 40 weeks, except for the twins. Those were that's right, I said twins. The last pregnancy, I was pregnant with twins, 2 girls. And I can honestly say, I thought my body had reached a capacity I never thought it could reach. And it was amazing because I went 39 weeks with 7-pound babies using the Life Strip for women with iron. I used it daily. I never skipped. And I also relied a lot, and I still do. I rely a lot on the protein shakes, all the flavors, all the different types. My husband loves the whey protein. He combines the 100% grass whey protein, the chocolate, with the BioPhysique BioBuild banana. And we have really taken off as a family because now I thought that my Olympic journey was rigorous with 2 to 3 hours a day, 2 to 3 times a day, and then a week. Well, at least I got naps during that training time because now it is 24/7 and I wouldn't have it any other way. But what I've chosen to incorporate is to surround myself because it's so crazy sometimes, because sometimes it's very easy for me to think, I don't really want to make another meal for somebody, or I just don't feel like dirtying the kitchen again, or I need something fast. I turn to the protein shakes right away or the protein bars. And honestly, I sometimes now I use the new multivitamin gummy. I think they're delicious. And the way that our philosophy and our family works is we see these supplements as groceries. We see them as easy fixes. We see them as a concentrated, fruits and vegetables that we are speeding up to get into our systems to do their work so that we can stay up with all 5 kids. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, honestly, our house is Shackleyized, if you will. Not sure if that's a real term, but I feel like I've been using it more, so maybe I'm making it a thing. Um, but I could not see it any other way. And I'm so grateful that my husband and I did the research. I'm so grateful for the community that we have been introduced to. I would have to end on this note and share with you my first goals of six, I'll say, because my other five goals, I wouldn't trade it for the world. And honestly, like I said, I am so grateful that I have the products that I can trust. I feel the difference on the daily. And it's just so easy to lead a healthy lifestyle where I can run after my kids, where I'm not constantly, nitpicking or grabbing this and grabbing that, where those are not quite the best way to operate in your day. So without further ado, this is my first medal, but the only Olympic medal in rowing. Let me grab it out here. Let me get the glare. There we go. And then here's the other side. And it has quite a bit of weight to it, honestly. It's a little over a pound we felt, which a funny story is after we won, and I was so excited to accept this, we had many interviews, and some of those interviews were for hours long. And during that time, after wearing the medal for about an hour interview, we thought to ourselves, oh my gosh, the first thing is take it off. And we're like, oh, our necks hurt. Our Olympic gold medals are hurting it. Like, what a great problem to have, right? It was kind of an inside joke that we all continue to enjoy this day. But I want to thank you so much for listening. I hope that these were helpful tips. I hope that you know that I appreciate the Shackley community and everything that it has to offer.